what goes around comes around? Or is it that what is good for Jonathan is good for Buhari? Is it the beginning of the end of the state, or the road to understanding the consequence of leadership mishap? In the context of political ganging up, Jonathan ambushes Murtala Nyako of Adamawa State, one of the PDP governors that rebelled against him. Nyako was daring in his attacks of Jonathan. Perhaps in a payback move, Jonathan organized his impeachment using the Adamawa State House of Assembly. Nyako, in his actions, went the length to pull down the Jonathan presidency. Let me remind you, let me take you back. In April 2014, Nyako released a long memo accusing the Jonathan-led federal government of carrying out genocide against the people of northern Nigeria. He says the Jonathan regime is a government of impunity run by an evil-minded leadership for the advancement of corruption. He blames Jonathan of sponsoring killings in the north while hanging it on Boko Haram. He accuses Jonathan of being behind the kidnapping of Chibok girls. These are his words. These organized kidnappers must have the backing of the federal administration for them to move about freely with abducted children, just as those who convey ammunitions and explosives from the ports to the safe houses of a so-called Boko Haram in the north. That is Murtala Nyako there. In a ferocious pouncing on Jonathan, Nyako has no limit. He went for Jonathan's neck when he suggested that the government Jonathan led was capable of murder. Here are his words again. We know where we are now, pointing our fingers. There have also been attempts to assassinate the Senate President, a northerner. 2 executive governors of states in the north, that is the governor of Benue State and my humble self, that is Nyako talking. 2 of our most prominent traditional rulers, Shehu of Borno and the Emir of Kano. He accused Jonathan of plotting to kill senators too. Remember, Obasanjo took a cue from that too. Nyako accused Jonathan of letting the army watch as northerners were killed by paid militias. So these militias have been there. Nyako told his readers that Fulani communities in parts of northern Nigeria who have been in their locations for over 100 years were being raided and uprooted by paid killers within the Nigerian army. He says poorly trained, totally ill-equipped northern soldiers are posted to Boko Haram hotbeds to get killed. He called on the International Criminal Court at The Hague to investigate his allegation of genocide against Jonathan. To Nyako, Nigeria was on the verge of disaster under Jonathan. What will Nyako say today? By the time Nyako was impeached as the governor of Adamawa State, his defenders in the APC warned Jonathan to pull the brake before the country spirals into the ocean. Today, who is not warning the APC? Are we still on the road to the ocean? The program is State Affairs on Splash 105.5 FM, the Integrity Station.